by Paperhead.com, the leader in sportsbook management software. And now, live from Hollywood, California, it's Sean's Sports Show. Tonight's starting lineup at guest, hailing from Bellingham, Washington, Paul Danke. Coaching Sean's Sports Show, it's Coach T. I'm Chicago's favorite sidekick, John Huck, and now please give it up for Bethlehem, Pennsylvania's own, the host of Sean's Sports Show, Sean Green.
Welcome everyone to Sean's Sports Show. I'm your host, Sean Green. Let's get into it, guys. In basketball news, the Golden State Warriors swept the Cleveland Cavaliers, in which experts are describing as complete bullshit that cost me a ton of money. Let's be honest. The real basketball news came in a recent interview where Kyrie Irving again reiterated his unique beliefs by stating that he, quote, doesn't know if the earth is round or flat, but he does want to discuss it. Sure, Kyrie, I'm happy to discuss it. The earth is round, it's not a debate. The shape of the earth isn't a personal preference. It's not like chocolate or vanilla, flat or round. Your entire professional life has been spent dribbling a basketball. How can you not understand the concept of a globe? I read the entire interview, and it was amazing, simply because of all the questions the interviewer had to ask to get to the round earth question. So, what was your character's motivation in the Uncle Drew movie? When did you first get the acting bug? By the way, what's your take on the shape of the earth? Normally when people ask that, they're trying to get to current events, not whether it's round or flat. And if you get angry about a guy believing the earth is flat, then you're a hater. It's like, oh, you're right. You're some sort of hater. It's like, yes, I am a hater. I hate that you're so good at basketball, you get to ignore basic facts of physics and still make 8 figures a year. Guilty as charged, hater. I have to believe the earth is round because I can't make a layup. In non-flat earth news, the general manager for the Philadelphia 76ers, Brian Colangelo, has been fired after it was revealed that he was connected to 5 different burner Twitter accounts, which were being used to criticize players and the previous GM. One of the things that tipped people off that it was a burner account was that the account kept defending his shirt collars, which is pretty hilarious. We have a photo of his giant collars that he wears, and I mean, no Philadelphia Sixers fan is passionately defending the GM's collars. First, Kevin Durant gets busted with a burner account. Now the Sixers GM. Call me old-fashioned, but I remember a time when people in the NBA used burners just to cheat on their wives. The next piece of news is particularly troubling. Donald Trump disinvited the Super Bowl champion Philadelphia Eagles to the White House when he got wind that the vast majority of the players would not be attending. Hey, why not just invite the Patriots back again? They're available. It's one thing to try and antagonize a dictator with nuclear weapons, but to go after Philadelphia Eagles fans, that's fucking crazy. You didn't make America great again, Trump. The Philadelphia Eagles made America great again when they went up against Bill Belichick with a backup quarterback and beat his ass. You know what, Trump? The National Football League is my safe space, all right? And I say I'm one of those guys, all right? Because I have ownership in it. When you cry about a team, you're allowed to say all right? I have pride in the team, pride in the game, pride in the city, and pride in the country. And you have no right to disrespect any of that, okay? You can ask the British what it was like the last time somebody tried to fuck with the city of Philadelphia. So obviously I'm a huge real football fan, but unfortunately there isn't any real football to watch right now. So I'm going to have to make do with soccer, or as I call it, not real football. And if you're like me and are forced to watch some soccer in the upcoming weeks, here is the Football Fan's Guide to Soccer. Take a look. You know how in football they have these sick things called touchdowns? Well, in soccer they just have goals. They don't happen very often, so when one occurs, just pretend like you're celebrating 5 touchdowns at the same time.
How is that even possible? Oh my God, holy shit. So that's a goal.
In football, the game is built around convenient commercials, which allow you to get more beers and go to the bathroom. Since people don't watch soccer, companies don't bother advertising, and there are no commercial breaks. So if you need to take a leak, you may have to improvise.
Whew. Nice throw-in.
Soccer is still doing those short shorts for some reason. Wow. Look at all those thighs. In football, you get to wear sick, badass jerseys while you're rooting for your favorite team. In soccer, the fans get to wear scarves. Go on with your bad self and enjoy that scarf. In football, the gladiators of sport put their lives on the line for the glory of their team, risking potential permanent injuries to important stuff like spines and brains. In soccer, sometimes a guy rolls his ankle.
He could have a bruise! Jesus!
You know how in football you can get really wasted watching the game? That actually still works in soccer. Welcome back, everyone, to Sean's Sports Show. I'm here with John Huck. John, first off, great acting. As always,
thank you.
Top-notch acting.
Thank you. I am actually excited for the World Cup.
You are?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And now why, listen.
Well, now I'm going to be rooting for Belgium because.
Yes, exactly. John was wearing a Belgium jersey there. Now, little behind the scenes of the making of the sketch, I went to a downtown Los Angeles sporting goods store, primarily Latino, huge soccer place, and I'm just looking for a random soccer jersey, basically the cheapest soccer jersey.
Yeah, exactly.
Any jersey.
Yeah.
I pull one off the rack. I'm like, how much is this? The guy's like, $10. I'm like, perfect, exactly what I need. And the guy goes, oh, are you a huge Belgium fan? And I go, no. And I was embarrassed to tell him it was for a sketch.
That was sort of making fun of the thing that he probably watches every day.
Exactly. I didn't want to be like, just for some joke ridiculing soccer. Instead, I pretended like I was in a rec league, and I was like, yeah, I'm in this rec league, and then the guy's asking me what position I play, and I'm getting sucked into this false world where, and then I'm like leaving the shop, and I'm like, I better get ready for the game. I'm like, wait, that was all a lie. Why am I in my own head?
That's how good of a liar you are.
Why am I trying to make this guy that owns this random sporting goods store downtown think I'm cool?
I don't know. You want people to like you. It's human nature.
Exactly. It is human nature. John, I don't know about you, but Sundays for me, obviously big football, but also, if I'm being honest, Sunday nights during non-football season, for me, it was always Sopranos. Huge fan of The Sopranos.
Yeah.
And actually today, June 12th, is the 11-year anniversary of the finale of The Sopranos. And
wait, so the 11-year anniversary of the finale?
Yes, 11-year anniversary of the finale of The Sopranos.
That's cool. I'm 1,000 years old. That's awesome. That's great. Good.
I know you're trying to put the timeline. Like, wait, time didn't stop when The Sopranos ended. And did you like the ending of The Sopranos?
I did not have a problem with it.
Okay.
I felt that if spoiler alerts coming up if you haven't seen the ending.
It's 11 years old.
Yeah, I felt like the guy at the counter was the brother of a guy that Tony had killed. So that's the dude who just took him out. There's an episode where Tony says, when you die, everything just goes black.
Yep.
So I thought that was it. They killed him. Thank you.
Here's what I thought.
More fan fiction later.
I thought David Chase was a coward who was afraid to write an ending to a great goddamn show. Okay, this isn't your English thesis statement. This is an awesome show with gangsters and mobsters. You don't whack a boss at a diner. Regardless, it's an amazing show.
But you knew how it had to end with him dying or him killing his family and starting over somewhere.
I just hate allegories and like, this represents something else. Just fucking have an ending.
You don't want to have to think about it.
Right, exactly. Sure. I'm watching television. I'm not taking a class. It's just good fun, John.
Spoken like an Eagles fan.
Exactly. I just want to watch things happen. There's not, at the end of the Super Bowl, it just doesn't cut to black. You're like, oh, you imagine your own
Nick
ending.
Foles died. Oh, no.
Did he die or did they win? I don't know. The answer's inside your heart. Like, get the fuck out of here. That's why sports are awesome. There's always an ending. And in football, there are never ties, except in regular season. But that's another one.
There was
a couple ties.
But the Eagles tied, did they not?
Exactly. Donovan McNabb didn't realize that ties can happen.
Ties were a thing.
And he said that at the press conference. Also, to put things in perspective, Donovan McNabb, one of the smarter football players. So
there you go. I bet he knows what shape the earth is.
That, I think, is probably still up for debate. But, John, I thought it would be fun if we did the Armed Forces draft for Memorial Day. I thought it would be fun to do a Sopranos-style draft.
Sure.
Picking athletes or people in the sports world that we thought would be good replacements or good matches for characters in The Sopranos. First up, let's take a look at who we selected for Christopher. All right, Christopher Moltisanti. I'll let you go first, John. You went with Lenny Dykstra.
I chose Lenny Dykstra. He's a giant fuck up.
Yes, exactly.
He's got problems with drugs and alcohol.
Always in the tri-state area. Horrible business ideas.
Terrible business ideas.
Also, unlikely ecstasy user. Again, him and Moltisanti.
Yeah. I mean, obviously, he's got a little bit of a chewing tobacco issue. But yeah, that he made the most sense for Christopher for me.
I know, I was kind of jealous. I went with Lamar Odom. Again.
Same.
Again, a guy who he's got a high maintenance wife at one point. He's again drug issues, prostitute issues, kind of a bit of a fuck up. He was on a great team. He could have had it all.
Yeah.
Fucked it up.
I like that. I like that he could have had it all because Christopher could have been next in line.
Yeah, he was Tony's godchild.
Yeah.
All right, next up we got Paulie Walnuts.
Paulie Walnuts, one of my favorite characters.
All right, now you went with Bryce Harper, John. Why'd you select? Why is he the Paulie Walnuts?
The hair, man. The hair. It's like if you just skunk out the side of Bryce Harper's hair, he's a young Paulie Walnuts. And I think that also Bryce Harper is a badass. He's the guy that if you're like, hey man, I need you to go up there and start swinging this bat around, like he would be like, yeah,
exactly.
I'm your
Great
guy.
with the bat.
Yeah.
Bryce Harper probably also murdered some people. My selection was James Harden.
Yeah.
Now I know what you're thinking. That's kind of first off, interesting style choices. James Harden. He's always rocking odd fashion choices. And also James Harden, it's clear he's not a true number one, much like Paulie Walnuts.
Well, and also like Paulie Walnuts wore a lot of tracksuits.
Yes.
You know, basketball players wear a lot of tracksuits.
Perfect.
Wardrobe's taken care of, that's all.
Next up, John, we got our take on Big Pussy, everyone's favorite character.
Big Pussy. I chose Bartolo Colon.
For obvious reasons.
Yeah, he's a big guy. He's I don't want to say past his prime, but like he could have maybe gotten out a while ago, and then he kind of stayed in, and now it's
stayed in past his prime.
They're gonna find the radio and all the devices on his boat, and then
eventually he will be found dead by someone who's a huge Mets fan. I went with Kevin Love, comparing him to Big Pussy, and he's just soft. That's all you need to say about Kevin Love. He's just a huge pussy. All right, next up, Tony's mom. One of the great all-time characters. Now you went with Tanya Harding, John.
I'd like to change mine actually to Tanya Harding's mom, if that's possible.
All right.
Yeah, but that relentless, fucking naggy, irritating, never fucking
horrible schemes.
Oh yeah, terrible, backstabby, like
manipulator,
anti your own children, like it's very very weird. Not nice.
Yes. Agreed. Both not
Master
nice
of
people.
words. Thank you.
I went with Terrell Owens first. I mean, is there anyone else in the sports world that always makes it about them? Like Terrell Owens. Terrell Owens got inducted into the Hall of Fame thing. A simple thing that's supposed to be good, and he's not going to the Hall of Fame. He's fucking it up. Anything that people try and do to help them, he turns into a negative thing. Always makes it about himself.
Why is he going to the Hall of Fame?
Because he doesn't want to go? I don't know. It's insane. It's classic T.O.
Do you remember that episode of The Sopranos where he walked up to his mom's house and she was in the driveway doing sit-ups?
Yeah. I don't remember that, but she did have amazing abs. All right. Well, next up, our final character in the Sopranos draft is, of course, Tony Soprano. Do we have the Tony Soprano one?
What is this?
Well, this is the game, John. That's going to be coming up later on in the program. So explain who would you like to compare Tony Soprano to?
My choice for Tony Soprano was Babe Ruth.
Yes.
He was gangster as fuck.
Yes.
He drank and ate more than he should.
Yeah.
He smoked cigars.
Both Italian, I think.
Yeah,
Sicilian.
Well, Bambino, I think.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? That's not Polish, I don't think.
Nope.
He just has that. He has the same kind of build and the same sort of attitude of, and this is just from what I've read and seen documentaries about, but like that attitude of like, don't tell me what to do. I'm fucking Babe Ruth. I'll do what I want to do.
Exactly.
And like,
I play by my own rules.
Yeah.
I went with Bill Belichick again. He's a guy you don't fuck with. He gets results. He's not. Hey, when it comes to a player, He's not afraid to get rid of them too early instead of too late.
Yeah.
Always one step ahead, but also he's got demons. He's never happy. Classic comparison, Bill Belichick.
That's a good, that is good.
All right, give it up for our Sopranos draft. Well, if you're a diehard Soprano fan like me, you know how hard Christopher struggled managing that bookmaking operation. Well, you don't have to suffer like Christopher anymore thanks to our sponsor, Paperhead.com. That's right, Paperhead.com makes managing your online sportsbook simple, easy, and convenient. When you sign up with Paperhead, you'll get up to 35% cash back credited to your new account. Don't beat the bookie, be the bookie at Paperhead.com. All right, guys, it's time to introduce our guest. He is a stand-up comedian from Washington, one of the co-creators of the Comedy Garage. Please give it up for Paul Danke.
Oh! How are you, sir?
Thank you, good. Thank you.
Paul, thanks for coming on the program.
Oh, my pleasure. Thanks for having me.
Always good to hang out, shoot the shit.
I can't believe you guys did a whole Soprano segment, and I was back there like, whatever we're about to talk about, I don't know as much as I know about the Sopranos.
All right, so any athletes you want to throw out that you think would be a good fit in the Sopranos world?
I would add AJ Soprano, the son.
Yes.
Who would you pick for that?
Reggie Bush.
Oh, okay, great.
All this, and then then it doesn't happen. Carmella. I still walk around my house screaming Carmella sometimes, just because it's ruined for me. Serena Williams.
Serena Williams. Yeah. Oh, okay,
Just
great.
a no-nonsense, rip your fucking head off.
Yeah, do you remember when she pulls the assault rifle out of the hidden cupboard? Boy,
yeah.
I've never felt
She
more
tried to
safe.
play it off like, hey, I'm just this innocent. I don't know what's going on. She was gangster as fuck.
Gangster.
Now, Paul, when I was shaking your arm, I was trying to be gentle. I noticed you got a brace on.
Tommy Copper?
Can you tell us
a little copper in there?
Can you tell us what's going on with the arm?
I've got an
sports-related injury.
It's a sports injury. It's tendonitis, tennis elbow, golf elbow they call it. This is from a Frisbee golf.
Oh, okay.
So wait, all right. Walk us through how do you get Frisbee elbow? The diagnosis.
Well, it was when I was young, when I was in college, I played Frisbee golf, not professionally, but recreationally.
No, in college is amateur level. Yeah.
Let's just say I played in some weekend tournaments.
Yeah.
You
had a heyday.
I got a few T-shirts. I did all right. I did okay.
Sure.
And then years went by. I fell off my game, as you do. You just stop. You stop playing. You don't have.
It's not like riding a bike.
No, it goes right away. And then I was playing again when I was in my later 20s, and just the feeling that you get when you snap it. Oh my God! And it was just the most painful. I feel like someone shot me in my elbow, and now it's like it just keeps coming back, and it's.
Did you when you went to the doctor? When you went to the doctor, Paul, in your head, were you hoping it was something else besides Frisbee elbow?
I was hoping that I would be able to play Frisbee again, if that's what you're asking.
Was there like a moment when the doctor's like pulling your arm back and just telling you like, hey man, I gotta be honest, it's never gonna be the same?
It's, they told me to take it easy, and I said, I know what that means, and I'm too young to hear take it easy with my Frisbee throwing arm, and I can't go left.
There's no possibility that you could learn to whip a Frisbee with your left hand?
I can throw it like sideways left-handed, but that's it. I don't even want to do it.
And so, are we on a recovery timetable for the Frisbee elbow? Is there some light at the end of the tunnel?
I've seen an acupuncturist. It helped.
You're using Eastern medicine to cure your Frisbee elbow.
Whatever it takes, man. Yeah.
I've been to the doctor, and what do they give you a brace, and they say take some Aleve and a Arrivederci. But I've got some needles in there. I've got some balm.
Some tiger balm.
A lady recommended a jade stone, and I was like, you know what?
This has to be the most LA moment on the show so far. Using crystals to heal your Frisbee elbow.
Well, I'm passionate about all leisure sports. Anything that you can do on
leisure sports expert, Paul Danke.
I grew up in California in the 80s before I moved to Bellingham, Washington. And it was a time when, lawn darts were still legal.
Yes.
We were playing long darts as a kid. And then when they took them off the market, we were like...
Yeah, they're weapons.
Well, come on, everything's a weapon, right? We were dangerous children, and it's harder to get lawn darts than it is to get an assault rifle, and that's insane. That's insane.
Yeah. Well, but I'd be remiss. I got to ask you about it. You're on here. It's a sports show. I know you had a background working on other sports shows. I remember when I first met you, I think, or early on, you worked on the show Pros versus Joes.
Yes. Yep.
What was that like?
Heads? Yeah. It was
the concept. The concept is an amazing concept. It's basically everyday Joes playing sports against professional athletes.
It's amazing, and I don't even think it's canceled. It's too good of an idea.
It's just out there in the ether.
It'll come back one time.
And it's too good to see guys a little bit past their physical prime, but with the confidence of youth, go up against athletes who are also a little bit past their prime, but fucking professional athletes.
Yeah.
It was so cool.
Craziest moment, or like the best domination you saw from the show?
The best domination was Claude Lemieux. Played for the NHL, and we got to be on the ice while they were filming it. And to be on the ice with a professional hockey player moving on, it's like, Jesus Christ.
Yeah.
It's scary.
Crazy, yeah.
And there was a real yappy kid that was very confident because he could skate, and we saw him practicing, and everyone hated this guy. And then he came out, and I was just like,
Get him, Lemieux, get him!
They got mad at us for cheering on Claude. I was like, what do you want us to do? Are you in a different room? Come on. No, you're obscene for not cheering him on.
All right. Well, I think it's time. I think we're due a pep talk from Coach T. T over there.
You look a little tired. We want to beef up that elbow.
All right. Give it to us, Coach T. Come on.
How's it going, Sean? How's it doing, boys? Whew. Sorry, I was off screen just getting all excited because it's World Cup time. The biggest sporting event in the world. And like most Americans, I could give a rat's ass about it. Here's the thing. Oh, Coach, patriot. I bleed red, white, and blue. I'm a root for my country no matter what. So I looked at the brackets. I tried to get all excited. I was like, well, who are we playing in our opening match? I wonder how we match up. Do you think we can make it out to the second round this year? We're not in it. This country has spent decades and millions of dollars trying to become a soccer power, and we can't even get into the dance. You know who did make it? Tunisia. Tunisia, a sub-Saharan African country with the population about the size of San Diego and the name of a stripper from Atlanta, made it into the World Cup, and we're sitting at home. So you know what? I'm not going to talk about the World Cup anymore. I'm not going to talk about that bunch of losers. Yes, I'm talking about the U.S. men's soccer team. I want to spend the last moments of my speech to give a shout out to a real American hero. Because something happened this week. I don't know if you guys noticed. Something huge happened this week. And it could have only happened because of one man. Of course, I'm talking about 1990 and 1991 Defensive Player of the Year, Dennis Rodman. He brought countries together, guys. When his country needed him to go get that loose ball, he got it. Who knew Dennis Rodman's greatest skills was boxing out and international diplomacy? You thought Kobe Bryant winning an Oscar was crazy? Just wait until you see Dennis Rodman weeping while receiving his Nobel Peace Prize, guys. Let's get back in this show, great. Woo!
Inspiring pep talk.
Just motivation.
I needed that perspective.
He was sponsored. Dennis Rodman's trip to Singapore to somehow help out with the negotiations was sponsored by a pot-themed cryptocurrency called potcoin.com, and then he's on CNN with a Make America Great hat on, just bawling out because it's such a beautiful experience, helping take part of it with all his like crazy tattoos and face. Jewelry.
Yeah, his face. His crazy face.
One of the greatest diplomats of all time. All right, guys, it's time now for our big game. Tonight's big game, we are We're going to examine the insane world of soccer hooligans. What I'm going to do is I'm going to read a little snippet from a police report, and you have to guess, was this because of soccer?
Okay.
I'm going to read some violent acts, and you have to decide whether or not soccer was attached to it. All right, first up, Tuesday grabbed a baseball bat from the boot of his car, but the two men turned the tables and left the cabbie with head injuries, a partially collapsed lung, 3 broken ribs, fractures to the cheek and eye socket, and soft tissue damage around the spine. Paul, was soccer involved in this?
They did almost kill him, so yes, I think soccer
Okay,
was
John?
involved.
Yes, soccer was
You
definitely
guys are
involved.
right. That was because of soccer.
It sounded belligerent. That sounded like a belligerent beatdown.
1-1, all tied up. Next up. Bottles, metal barriers, and traffic cones were thrown at cops as thousands gathered in Whitehall, England. 5 officers were injured, and police made 5 arrests, including one for possession of an offensive weapon. Don't know what that means.
It was a dildo.
Some sort of dildo
Yeah,
gun, I can
yeah.
only assume.
Dildo gun.
Paul,
sounds-
was this because of soccer?
That sounds like a Coldplay concert to me, Sean. Not soccer.
Okay.
It sounds like a Coldplay concert opening up at a soccer match. It was definitely from soccer.
John, you are incorrect. Paul, you are correct.
What? Was it really a Coldplay concert?
No,
okay.
sorry. It was not soccer.
I was like, that
It
would
was
be-
just a, that was just your regular old-fashioned political riot.
Oh, we've been there.
Okay.
Next up, Aiden Warner, who has convictions for criminal damage and battery, left Lance Corporal David Ferguson with a gaping wound at the top of his spine. Paramedics found the tip of the knife used on Corporal Ferguson protruding from his neck, having snapped in the brutal attack. First off, he is okay. Paul, was this because of soccer?
Yes, absolutely.
John,
Yeah.
you guys are both correct. That was a soccer-based argument.
Yes. Of course, the knives.
It was not. It was not at a soccer game. I'd like to point that out.
Just arguing about
No,
soccer.
they just got into an argument about soccer.
Oh, man.
A man with his Achilles tendons cut, while another.
What?
A man had his Achilles tendon cut. Another returned home via train with a bottle still lodged in his neck after the violent outburst. Paul, is that a soccer incident?
That's also a soccer incident.
For
John.
sure. Yeah.
You guys are both correct. Both was because of soccer. Feel like you guys, this is the
Bottles
best anyone's ever
lodged in his
done.
neck. Like, I'm good. I just got to get home.
How are you on the train and not just pulling it out?
But
at
everyone
some point?
around you also wearing jerseys like, oh, yeah, you were at the match there earlier.
Next up, police said Brockle assaulted several people, and 3 of them, 2 men and a woman, suffered serious injuries. The injuries included a dislocated jaw that required teeth to be wired shut, a head injury requiring a neck collar, cuts and bruises. Paul, was this because of soccer?
No, it's not bad enough. Doesn't sound too mild.
John?
I'll say yeah.
John, you're incorrect. Paul, it was not because of soccer.
Yes! It just didn't feel violent enough.
You know, this was actually from my hometown paper. It was at a wedding. So there you go. Pays to keep up with local news.
But by the way, all the soccer incidents also sound like they happened in Philadelphia.
Hey, it's tough to determine. Last question for all the marbles. German police put a stop to a man waving a knife and going on a rampage at a Berlin cathedral on Sunday by shooting him in the legs. Paul, was this because of soccer?
No, that's not soccer.
Yeah, that was definitely because of soccer.
John, you were incorrect. Paul,
yes!
undefeated,
Yes, you're
6-0. Give it up for Paul Danke. Wow. All right, guys.
That was a
Big
rush.
thanks to John Huck, of course, Coach T,
Coach.
and our special guest, Paul Danke.
Paul.
Make sure you give him a follow on Twitter at Paul Danke. Guys, I'd like to leave, but before I do, a haiku. Please cue my haiku music. Soccer. Wow, who knew? Eagles colors, red, white, and blue. Man, Dykstra loves chew. All right, that's it for Sean's Sports Show, everyone.